Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. If you don't mind, please smash the like button on this video. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. It'll push the video out to more viewers. That way more people can see this just like you've seen today. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell and YouTube will notify you as soon as a new video is live, and we do put out several every day. So thank you so much again for tuning in. I have major breaking news coming out of the Middle East right now and Yemen. Okay, so it looks like right now, within just the last hour, it is currently 4:53 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We have the US and the UK navies and Air Force launching more strikes on Yemen, and this looks to be another massive strike like what we saw just in the last 5 or 6 days ago. So I have an article here I want to go over, guys, and I'm also going to be showing you a little bit of footage. I apologize in advance. The footage is not the best, but I did find some that shows some of the explosions going on over there, so I wanted to show that to you guys. And we've got some other information as well, that the United States is now renewing their terrorist basically designation on the Houthis again. So they're going to be designating them as terrorists. Okay. So this is only going to allow the United States and partners of the US led coalition to continue these strikes. And they'll also be able to cut off funding and stuff like that from Iran, trying to give them, missile components and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump into this article here that I want to show you guys. Here we go. Okay, so U.S. launches fourth round of strikes in a week against the Houthi targets in Yemen. So yes, guys, this is the fourth attack, but the second largest attack. It's not as large as the attack that we saw initially the first time when we bombed them, but this was another massive attack, and we will get into that in just a second. So yeah, fourth time this has happened. The other two times were more targeted strikes, sometimes on the coastline, but mainly we were hitting actual targets that appeared to be ready to launch ballistic missiles. Whenever the US was able to locate these locations, they dropped a bomb on them right away. So, but this one's an actual widespread attack, just like we saw the first time. So let's get into this. US launches fourth round of strikes in a week against Houthi targets in Yemen. The US conducted its fourth round of strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen in just under a week on Wednesday, after the Houthis continued targeting commercial vessels, a U.S. official confirmed to CBS News. The strikes targeted several sites that were prepared to launch attacks, according to the official. The U.S. and the U.K., with support from other nations, conducted initial strikes last week, targeting just under 30 locations and using over 150 different types of munitions. The U.S. has unilaterally launched two more rounds of strikes, one early Saturday morning in Yemen against a Houthi radar site, and another round Tuesday, destroying 4 anti-ship ballistic missiles that were prepared to launch. Okay, so these other two attacks were kind of smaller attacks, again, like I said, but we did target specific ballistic missile launch sites that we located in Yemen and took them out, according to U.S. Central Command. Despite these strikes, the Houthis have promised to continue their attacks in the vital waterway. The Houthis, who are funded and equipped by Iran, have said the attacks are to protest Israel's war in Gaza, but many of the ships they've targeted have no connection to Israel or its war, U.S. officials have said. And Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Patrick Ryder, when asked Wednesday if the U.S.-led strikes were ineffective, considering the Houthis have continued to attack, said the Pentagon believes the strikes have degraded the Houthis' ability to attack. Clearly, they maintain some capability, and we anticipated that after any action, there would likely be some retaliatory strikes. So they are admitting here that we have not completely wiped out their capability to attack back, okay? We have, according to Major General Patrick Ryder, we have degraded their ability, but we have not completely, cut the Houthis off from their ability to, attack ships. So clearly it's still happening. We just had, was it just yesterday or the day before, we had that U.S.-owned ship. I reported on it. that was attacked by a ballistic missile. It was struck, and luckily they were able to extinguish the fire and continue on with their journey, but it was struck by a missile. Okay, so these attacks are still happening. It doesn't look like they're going to end, and I've been telling you guys that this is something that was going to continue. So we will see more of this. It's going to continue happening, and yeah, but it does look like this strike that we launched on them was a major strike, guys. It was definitely a major strike, and I think it's ongoing right now. The U.S. and Britain are both involved in these strikes, and this is going to be the 4th round of strikes on Yemen again. Okay, so I also want to go over here this whole U.S. renewing the terrorist designation of the Houthis. Okay, so let me get this pulled up here, and I'll show you guys this real quick. Okay, so let me see. 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay, so yeah, U.S. renews terrorist designation of Houthi rebels amid Red Sea attacks. So this was just today, January 17, 2024 at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So just this morning, the United States went ahead and designated the Houthis as a terrorist organization, okay? And it says right here, today in response to these continuing threats and attacks, the United States announced the designation of Ansarullah, also known as the Houthis, as a specially designated global terrorist. Okay, they're calling them global terrorists. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said in a statement, this designation is an important tool to impede terrorist funding to the Houthis, further restrict their access to financial markets, and hold them accountable for their actions. So, to me, I understand they're trying to cut off their financial abilities to obtain more weapons and things like that. But to me, the main reason they are designating them as a terrorist organization is to basically make it seem like it's okay for them to continue attacking Yemen. That's why they're doing this. Okay, they're trying to make it seem as if, you know, them bombing Yemen is not a bad thing because they're really just going after terrorists. Okay, it's very similar to what the foreign minister of Iran was saying when they were talking about Pakistan. I reported on this when they bombed Pakistan. They were saying, you know, we respect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Pakistan, but we're only just going after the terrorists, guys. That's all we're doing. That's basically what he said. We're only going after the terrorists. We're not going after Pakistani land. Excuse me, we're just going after the terrorists. So that's basically what the U.S. is doing here as well. They're basically designating them as terrorists so that way they can just keep bombing them. And obviously they're not attacking civilians. We're not bombing, you know, the civilian infrastructure of Yemen. We're just bombing these ballistic missile sites and launch sites, radar stations, things like that, and going after the Houthis directly. Okay, so that's the reason why they're doing that. So I also have some footage here. Let me get this pulled up. A couple videos here that kind of show the explosions. I want you guys to see this. Again, I apologize that the videos are, they're not the clearest footage, but this was taken at night because, again, Yemen was attacked during nighttime. Over here, it was around, I want to say 3:30 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, but for them, it's really late at night, so it's very dark and the quality is not too great. So go ahead and take a look at this first video. So yeah, as you can see there's a massive fireball here. It looks like there was a missile that went off over here. I'm sure we launched more Tomahawks again. I'm sure the Navy was launching some, and the submarines that we have over there were launching them. So this was another major attack again, and this is ongoing right now. There's not a whole lot of data and information coming out just yet, but I'm getting you guys the latest as of now, the latest information, okay? So here's another video. Show you guys this too. Here's another video for some of the strikes that were ongoing there. So as you can see right here, guys, another massive fireball. There it is right there. So these videos, again, were taken at night, so the quality is going to be very low. But you can see here in these videos that there's massive strikes going. I mean, look how big that fireball is. It's huge. So again, this story is developing. All this information is just starting to come out. I'm sure later on tonight, if not by tomorrow, we will be seeing more information on this and the extent of the damage, how many munitions were launched, things like that. So this is an ongoing operation right now, the fourth strike on Yemen, guys. So I just wanted to update you on that and let you know what's going on, what's the latest with that. And if anything else comes out, I will let you know as soon as possible. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Make sure you are preparing yourselves for the worst, because this is continuing to escalate and we're having more attacks and more attacks on the Houthis, and we will get more attacks on ships, and this is only going to continue, especially now that the United States has declared the Houthis as a terrorist organization once again. So expect this to amplify. Things will continue to get worse, and we never know what can happen from this. So keep your heads on a swivel, guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. And we will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching this update. Take care, and God bless.